you how you can solve the exact same problem, right? But do it in two different ways, right? You can do it either with the proportion or you can choose to do it with the equation. So let's take a look. So here we've got Bill paid $35.99 in tax, okay, on a laptop that cost $449.99. Yes, this is a real thing. You can't just go into a store and be prepared to pay what the item costs. You got to be able to pay tax too. So our question is about what percent sales tax did Bill pay? Well, if you remember, there are three key elements to every single percent problem. Do you remember what they are? They are part, percent, and whole. Okay, so those are your three key things. They're the three things you want to look for when you're doing any type of percent problem. Okay, so the percent is the easiest to find because it's got a percent symbol. Do you see a percent symbol anywhere here? No. This means that that is our unknown. That's what we're solving for. So now we've got these two numbers that we've marked up, that we've circled, right? And one of them is going to be the part, and one of them is going to be the whole. Which one do you think is going to be the part? Well, $35.99 would be the part because the total amount, right, the whole cost of that laptop is $449.99. The part that you pay in addition with tax is $35.99. So here's our whole, right? That's the normal cost. Okay, so we now have two options on how to solve this. And I'm going to kind of draw a little line over here. All right, so option number one is we can use a proportion. Well, every proportion from now until the end of time is just, looks like this, two equal fractions, two sides that are equivalent to each other. And we always set it up that we have our percent over our magical percent number, which is 100. And on the other side, we always do part over whole. So if I want to set this up for this problem, well, let's see. What's our percent? Oh, it's unknown. What do I use in math when I don't know something? What do I use to represent an unknown quantity? I use a variable, and I'll use, usually you'll see X used, but I'm going to use P for percent. Okay, put that over 100. And I'm going to make that equal to part over whole. Well, we said our part was $35.99. And we said our whole was $449.99. Okay, now here is where sometimes it gets a little bit tricky. This is where we do our cross multiplication, or as I like to call it, the palm tree method, because I really make it look like a palm tree. I'm going to literally cross multiply. Whee! And look, I make it into a cute little palm tree. Oh my God. All right, so anyway, we do P times 449.99, right? And we don't know what that is because we don't know what P is. So I'm just going to write it like this. Because I don't need to put the multiplication symbol here, because when you have a number and a letter, a coefficient and a variable next to each other, it is implied, it's understood that you're multiplying. Then I multiply 100 times 35.99, which, go get your handy dandy calculator. What do you get when you multiply 35.99 times 100? Oh, you thought I was just going to let you sit here? Right. it's 3,599. Okay, so now I'm here. I'm at a one-step equation. I've got some mystery number times 449.99 is going to give me 3,599. Well, whenever we're solving equations, we're working backwards. We're using inverse operations. We're doing the opposite. Well, if we're currently multiplying and we want to do the opposite, what would be the opposite of multiplying? Right, dividing. Now, we do it to both sides because equals means the same. And this is what helps us isolate that variable, get the p by itself. Okay, well, when I divide these, any number divided by itself is equal to 1. So I would have 1p left. But I don't really need to write 1p because I can clearly see that there's just 1p here. P equals, well, let's go ahead, get our calculators, and let's do the division. What do we get when we do that right-hand side? 3,599 divided by 449.99. We should get like 7.99795, and it just goes on and on and on. Okay. Notice about, well, I can pretty much round that to about 8%. Okay. All right, so that was method number 1. That's the proportion. It's a lot of work. So I'm going to draw out a little box here, and we're going to do method number 2. That's the equation. Okay, our equation for percents is part equals percent times whole. Okay, and another way you can think about this is, what do you know? Wait a minute. If part equals percent times whole, wouldn't percent be equal to part divided by whole? Because wouldn't we have to divide in order to get rid of that times the whole? Wouldn't you have to do the opposite? So this might be a quick, easy way to remember. So your part, $35.99 divided by 449.99. Well, pop that in your calculator, ladies and gentlemen, and you get 0.079979, blah, blah, blah. I think there's one more thing that we're going to need to do. Because when you use the equation, there's an extra step you need to do at the end. You have to remember to convert your number from a decimal to a percent. And how do we do that? Well, we multiply by 100. And that gives us that 7.99, which we can say is about 8%. Hope this helped. We'll definitely work more with it when we are in small groups. All right, guys. Thank you.